EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martins here with your outlook for January 25th, 2023. It is Wednesday, and the Wednesday video forecast is proudly sponsored by the Walters and Zarinsky team at Keller Williams Real Estate, serving all of Lehigh, Northampton, and Carbon counties, as well as parts of Bucks, Berks, and Schuylkill counties. Prices are finally beginning to level off in the market, but the inventory remains low. The Walters and Zarinsky team, with over 20 years of full-time real estate experience, specializes in residential resale properties, working with buyers, sellers, and real estate investors. With the mention of this ad, the Walters Zarinsky team will offer a free 1-year home warranty for either the purchase or sale of your home, or an equivalent credit or discount with any successfully closed real estate transaction. They can be reached at 610-867-8888, proud sponsors of the Wednesday video forecast. So we have a storm system moving in today. It's going to bring snow for the interior, rain in the southeastern areas. This has been pretty consistently, from a synoptic evolution standpoint, it's been pretty consistent over the last couple of days. It's just a matter of, like I've been talking about with the southeastern extent, how far southeast does that snow get with the initial push of precipitation, and that is still in question. We are still, and we put our final products out already. We're going to ride and die with this, but I will tell you that if you're looking at the models that are coming in this evening, literally less than 12 hours before the start of this event, and they're all over the place. I mean, there's not one model agreeing with the next, not one. So this is going to be a situation where there's going to be a few surprises here and there. That could be for the good or the worse, depending on your perspective, but it's going to be it's a very tough. I don't think it's that tough of a storm, really. I don't know what's giving the models fits with this one, but they're really having a hard time. So it's making our jobs a little bit more difficult. But the hardest part was always going to be the southeastern extent of precipitation, not really so much the far interior areas, as that was pretty much of a slam dunk kind of forecast. But further southeast, when I'm talking about places like south central PA, southeast PA, central New Jersey, those are your southeast fringe areas. Do we get snow out of that? Do we get some snow? Well, we're going to allow for that. And for the snow lovers, we're going to hope for the best for that. Now, it's going to change over to rain, so it's going to be a moot point eventually anyway, but that's not the point. Point is, we're trying to get a total accumulated snowfall forecast out there, and it's very difficult with what we're dealing with. So here's the European model that ran today. It ran late because there was some kind of communications outage from the source. The ECMWF people had a problem with their server, but did eventually come out here. So this is what it's showing. And European model has probably been the most consistent of it, at least with a general idea. It has shifted a little bit northwest and southeast and back and forth, but it's been pretty close to what it's been showing over the last couple of days. So it's made that if there is one consistent model, I would say it's probably the European model. I know it has shifted a little bit further northwest, but it's just minor shifts. There's nothing big, no big knee-jerk changes like some of these other models we're seeing out there, like the NAM, the GFS, Canadian model, RGEM. They're all over the place. So here is the depiction today, and this comes in generally during the morning. There's going to be an initial band that comes through for northern areas, and then there's going to be a little bit of break. The main batch of precipitation comes in generally mid to late morning through early afternoon, okay? And then you have this snow continuing during the afternoon. It's going to change over to sleet and then rain. I do think it changes over to rain just about everywhere, except for maybe the highest elevations of the Poconos, north central PA, northeast PA, where in those areas you might get some freezing rain instead of just rain if the cold temperatures cooperate. And then after that, either side of midnight, this is over, okay? And that's it. This moves out of here. And then in its wake here on Thursday, we turn very breezy. I'll get to that in a second. Here's the NAM high-res future simulated radar starting us off at 7 o'clock in the morning. Here's that initial band, and it is going to be in the form of snow for the northern areas that moves through. Okay, this is not the thump of snow, though. This was not the thump comes with the heavier rates where the near the boundary layer, where the boundary layer temperatures are separating cold versus warm, right? So this is where your heavier rates are going to be with this one. So the first one goes through, you get some snowflakes in the morning here, right? And here's the heavier rates coming in with the next main batch. And again, this is late, kind of like mid to late morning through early afternoon from west east. You see the far southeastern areas here on the NAM anyway, which has come around a little bit on the latest run that we're showing, which it hadn't before. It's got a little bit better of an idea here where you get the snow initially, and this moves off to the north and east. You can see some parts of southeast PA just start off with a mix of rain, And then you get the snow here in the interior, and this is going to go over to sleet, which is indicated by this pinkish color. Okay, and then it changes over to rain just about everywhere. There will be some higher elevation freezing rain that will continue in those areas where the temperatures are colder, but this ends here on either side of midnight, just before midnight in the interior or just after, further east into parts of New Jersey. But this is what it's projecting, and this is what we have. I'm going to show you what our map is. Forget what the models have because they're all over the place. I'll show you what our map is, and that's this. Okay, so all the rain areas are down here in this green area. We did allow for a coating to 1 inch in this hot pink color, area B. This is a slushy coating to 1 inch. It might be closer to the coating here. Who knows? We'll see. But I think that we're going to allow for these areas to get into the coating to 1 inch areas. It will be northwest of the Philadelphia Metro. I don't think Philadelphia Metro is getting anything this time. Same thing with New York City, but just northwest of there, when you get to like Newark, down to Somerville, down to Doylestown, Pottstown, Westchester, you might get a coating inch over to Lancaster, York. In between here in the gray area is a 1 to 2 inch swath. That includes the parts of the lower Susquehanna Valley from Harrisburg along I-78 up through the Lehigh Valley and parts of northern New Jersey. And then you go even further northwest. That's when you get your 2 to 4 in the light blue and 4 to 6 in the higher elevations here in parts of central PA and northeast PA. And that is a 4 to 6 inch swath in those areas. Okay, so that's what our breakdown of the map is. That's the best I can give you. Excuse me, are there going to be some surprises in here? Probably. I would almost bank on it just because of the way these, this isn't about picking your favorite model and running with it or the one that shows you the most snow and saying, oh, that looks good, let's make a map off of it. No, it doesn't work like that. So, all the background stuff that we do as far as soundings reviews and you name it, there's a lot of things that go into it. And to come up with these maps, it's not just us looking at a model saying, oh, that looks good for that snow map, let's draw it. No, that doesn't work like that. This is our best kind of a blend of the ones that we thought made the most sense, and this is what we have for our final call. So we'll see how that works out today, and of course, if you want to see that map again, it is on our weather alerts page. It's going to be there all day. You can see it and reference it if you want. The other part to that is going to be wind. I keep seeing these wind forecasts for Wednesday, thinking they're going to be this atrocious wind here coming into here today. I don't see it. You're going to have, when you have warm air advection, you're going to have a temperature inversion that's going to prevent some of that wind that's above the inversion from getting down below the inversion. That's what it does, okay? So because you have warm air advection and snow changing over to other precipitation types, whether it be sleet, freezing rain, or rain, you have a warm air advection situation where the mid-levels are warming faster than the surface. So because of that, you have a temperature inversion. That's going to prevent a lot of the winds here on Wednesday. I don't think you're going to have a really windy day. Might get a little breezy around dinner time, but not really noteworthy. The best place for that to occur would be the higher elevations of the Poconos, but even there, you're looking at some wind gusts, maybe 25, 30. We're not dealing with anything much higher than that. Now, here on Thursday, however, you will have some cold air advection-related wind in the wake of that system, and it's going to go pretty much throughout the entire day here on Thursday, where you'll have some wind gusts that are going to be in the 30 to as much as 40 miles per hour for peak gusts, but generally 25 to 35 over a good portion of the daylight hours here on Thursday. That is the cold air advection-related wind coming in behind it, but that does quickly diminish during the overnight hours. Okay, so then after this here on Thursday, again, we're breezy with mostly cloudy skies. We go to partly cloudy skies and colder conditions here on, well, at least seasonably colder here on Friday, right? Once we get to Saturday, we start warming up again. Okay, over the weekend, we are going to warm up well into the 40s. Might touch 50 down here by Philadelphia by the time we get to Sunday. And we are going to have a system coming in here. We were talking about watching the timing for this for the NFC Championship game, which is at 3 o'clock in South Philadelphia. Will we have any rain for that? For tailgating, absolutely not. This did speed up, though, however, with a few showers trying to come in here. This is 7 p.m. It's not quite to Philadelphia, but it's awfully close. So I still don't think the game is going to be affected. We're going to watch this because this cold front has, in fact, sped up a little bit. So it's getting a little bit close to that end time of the game. So after the game, you're leaving the game, you're celebrating, going to the bar, whatever you're going to do to celebrate. Hopefully it's a celebration, right? Go Birds. But we'll see. It looks like that anything after the game would be the time frame for the showers to come in, and it does look like it's going to be in the form of rain because it's going to be too warm for anything other than that. And then Monday and Tuesday, be in the wake of this system, we're looking at partly cloudy skies Monday and temperatures lowering, and then near average on Tuesday with partly to mostly cloudy skies. We have another system that might be coming in here either Tuesday night or Wednesday. We'll keep an eye on that as we get further into the week. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchers. That is your outlook for January 25th, 2023. Have a great Wednesday.